Hey everyone, Steve here with a work in progress number 1 on the Master Grade Sinanju Virgin Katoki. So I'm currently cleaning up parts. I'm planning to make this a very quick build because I just don't want to spend a lot of time on this. So I'm prepping these parts. For the red parts, I'm going to skip priming them because I'll be using a lacquer paint, which is very tough and it bonds well to plastic. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through and sanding with 1000 grit sandpaper all the parts just to scratch up the surface and create little micro scratches so the paint can bite into the plastic more easily. So that's what I'm doing, and got a lot of parts left. I've done a handful, some of the larger pieces, but now getting down to the smaller ones, which take a long time. So I'm going to be spending the afternoon doing this and hopefully painting tonight. We'll see how it goes. Basically all I'm doing is going through, snipping down the runners. So I didn't actually snap fit this kit. I just separated all the parts by color. So we've got all the red parts. There wasn't much for white. And I separated the inner frame parts by section of the kit. So we've got one of the legs here, another here, and so on and so forth for the whole kit. And once I finish cleaning up all these parts, I will snap together the inner frame as much as I can and then paint it. I've got the black parts which have like the gold trim, like all that stuff. I've got it over there painted. I'm doing the reverse wash technique on that, and I've already painted the gold. I'm gonna let that dry for a long time before I go ahead and put on the enamel black paint. I'm gonna use a gloss black to do that, but I'm gonna wait a while before I do that. And here's a look at the gold piece. Looks pretty nice. This is the Alclad pale gold, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the reverse wash technique. So I'm going to come through and just paint this with a gloss black and then come through with a Q-tip or cotton swab and some enamel thinner and just go through and wipe off the paint off of this the raised gold sections, and I'll be left with a very awesome looking piece. Here we go. So this is chrome with a very thinned out enamel airbrushed over it, so it's got that effect. Got some uneven spots, but looks okay, I think. And what that does is it kind of flows into the little cracks and stuff, and it also just leaves like a smoky finish. I'm going to give this a couple more hours to kind of dry. I know it's going to take a couple days to like fully degas, but later on today I'm going to go through and using this enamel jet exhaust, I'm going to just go through and hit the insides of all the verniers with that, which should look pretty sweet. What I'll be doing now is just going through and cleaning up the red parts so I can get those painted, and just go through and shave off little any nub marks then come through with a sanding sponge, extra fine. Get those, and then come back with 1000 grit and kind of smooth that out. I mean, this is like probably 800, but so it's pretty smooth. But come back through with a 1000 because I will be skipping priming the red parts and just going straight to paint. Just going to save me some time. So I want the pieces to be very smooth, but also have some micro scratches so the paint can really stick in there and bond. Now, when I got this kit, I originally had planned to light it. This kit has a total of 22 verniers, and I was going to light every single one of them, but this is the version Katoki, which means it has the hard plastic inner frame. It doesn't have like the flexible ABS inner frame of the OVA version. So I decided that I would probably break this kit a lot if I tried to light it, by like having to take it apart multiple times and forcing stuff. So I decided that if I was going to light a Sinanju, it should be the OVA version, not the version Katoki, just because it's going to save myself a bunch of headaches and frustration. So for this kit, I decided just to do a simple paint job. I'm going to pre-shade it and highlight it, do a bunch of chromes and metallics and silvers and stuff for the inner frames and pipes and everything. Like these ventilation pipes will be done in the alclad steel, which is this color, which is a very cool color, but this has a flat coat over it, so it's kind of dulled down. And I'm going to do like the ball hip joints in like a maybe durlanium, like a dark aluminum color, because those parts are visible, I think, in the finished kits, and I kind of like that appearance of the yeah, sort of visible in there. If you like move it around and pose it and stuff, you'll be able to see that. And also, oh yeah, I guess you can see the ball joints on the shoulders too. So I'm gonna do those up in some dark aluminum, durlanium. It should look pretty cool. And do the rest of the inner frame and just probably a gunmetal or a steel or something, or maybe just a metallic black or just dark gray or something, or the normal inner frame color. So that's the plan. Should look really sweet, all that pre-shading and highlighting and everything. It would look a lot cooler with lights, but yeah, it would take me months to do, and I'd get bored and start other projects and get put on the shelf and never finish, kind of like my Banshee over there, which I have yet to actually really start. I've gotten some done on it, but not very much, just because I'm not really in the mood to do all of that wiring, because it can take a very long time. And And I'm making good progress on these red parts, but I'm starting to realize that there are more red pieces than I have painting clips and space to actually paint at one time. So I'm going to divide this up into 2 painting sessions. It'll just be easier on me too. So I'm going to go ahead and get the ones I've sanded cleaned and get them washed and drying so I can possibly paint these tonight. I think I can. So I thought I would demonstrate how I clean my parts because I've had this question asked a few times. So what I use is a product called Purple Power. You can buy these big gallon containers at your big box stores, and it's like $2-3 for this whole gallon, maybe like $4 or $5, but it's really cheap, and it works great. It doesn't harm the plastic at all. You can thin it out with water if you wanted to, or you could just use it straight. I tend to not thin it at all. I just use it straight. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is get all these parts into this container. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill it with some Purple Power. I'm kind of running low, so I have to be careful. So I'm actually going to thin this a bit because this is pretty much empty. So I'm just going to fill the rest up with water, so it'll be about 50-50 water. And that'll just help what I got go a little bit further, so I can get some more tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to let this soak for 15-20 minutes, and that's going to really dissolve any oils, dirts, little dust from sanding, and any mold release from the, or mold residue from the casting process. So that's how I clean parts, and once it's soaked for a while, what I tend to do is I take the parts out and put them into a container of just water, and then I take them out, scrub them with a toothbrush, and then put them into a thing of water, and then I take the pieces from that bin and just rinse them, and that seems to do the trick, and it's efficient that way, so that's why I choose to do it that way. Yep, I'm going to get these soaking and then continue to clean up the rest of the parts. And I thought I would finish off these pieces so I can take over the bench again. I screwed up one of my thruster vents here. That's weird. But anyways, I need to re-chrome it, and it's a gloss black right now, but it's not very glossy for some reason. But anyways, that's ready to go, so I'm going to hit that with some chrome. Then I'll hit it with some of this gloss black, thinned down, so it's more thinner than paint. I like to share my techniques just to let you guys in on my little secrets. And if it'd focus, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but there's this, you can see the chrome, but it's got this smoky black appearance to it. Looks really awesome to me. And then I'm going to hit the interiors of these vents with this enamel jet exhaust, which is this burnt looking aluminum color. Okay, now I'm going to mix up some of this jet exhaust paint, and I tend to thin my paint in my airbrush cup rather than mix it up separately. I haven't quite got the hang of doing it with enamel paints yet. There's a very fine line between too thin and not thin enough. And again, I'm going to be spraying at like 8 psi because I want a lot of control. I don't think I need to mask off around the edges. So I'm going to spray at a lower psi so I have more control. Go ahead and be careful with that. Go ahead and mix some put some thinner in my cup. And let's go ahead and drop a little bit of paint in there. Now that I mix that up a bit, I'm going to go ahead and back flush a little bit, and then go ahead and remix that, and then give it a test spray and see if it's spraying how I like it. And if not, I'll mix it until I get it to where I want it, but I'm going to go ahead and start to paint. So I wasn't quite happy with the appearance of the jet exhaust inside the verniers here. I don't know how well this is actually showing up. Looks pretty bad in my camera screen, but so what I did was I came back through and did another pass with the very thinned down gloss black, and I just did the entire thing again, and that gave me exactly what I was looking for. Very dirty looking, a lot of tones, all the panel lines are, little grooves and panel lines in there are filled up with paint nicely, so I'm very happy with the way these turned out. Unfortunately, I had a little problem with one I redid. It, I don't know if you can see it, this is pretty glossy, but a piece of the plastic actually broke off there. And that's because of the toothpick I had in there. I had wedged a toothpick in pretty hard, and it just kind of cracked that whole thing. There's another crack forming over there too. I think it's just a combination of the pressure and like the enamel and lacquer thinners that just kind of weakened up the plastic and caused it to break. But luckily, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be visible at all the way this is put into the kit. I gotta double check that to make sure, but I don't think it is. So, pretty happy with the way those have turned out. I got all those done. So I'm going to give them some time to dry, and then I'm going to take back this workspace so I can finish painting up, or can I start? I'm going to take back this workspace so I can start to paint the red parts. And here we've got all those parts that I had washed earlier. So many, very large parts. I was worried for a second that I didn't have enough paint because I was looking over at my shelf and I only saw one jar of this red matter. paint, but then I remembered I had a secret stash of duplicate colors, and I had another one. I remember a while back I had purchased paint with this kit in mind. I need to look up the mixing ratio on 9mec, that website that has the translated instruction manuals, and see what they said to use for this color on this kit. I think it's a combination of like red matter, maybe like some shine red, and maybe some character red, but not quite sure. These all look the same. So I don't think I'm going to get to these parts tonight. It's getting kind of late and I have to work tomorrow, but I will continue to clean up the rest of the parts. I should be able to finish that tonight. And for part 2, I think I'm just going to do a high-speed painting session where I just do all of these parts, and you guys are going to have to like bring your own music or something, but we'll see how that goes. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys at the next update. Bye.